gonna talk about two topics. Before I get started, I literally just took the first sips of coffee. So before I get started, this wig that I am wearing, I just filmed a review for. I often film in the morning as I'm getting ready. And this is Mina from Vila Vila. She is 36 inches long. I actually really like the wig. I'm definitely gonna hack a lot off. This is a long straight wig. She has a silkier texture. I did put a little bit of shampoo. I put a little bit of hairspray in her to sort of dirty her up. But you know, it's a long straight wig. It's going to tangle, but I still think she's pretty. She's in the color 2T27. So review will be coming up on her soon. If it's not up and you want to see it, put that down below. So today I want to first talk about the difference between cosplay wigs, daily wear fashion wigs, and daily wear wigs as far as synthetic goes, because some people ask me about that. More people ask me about that in my regular life, because when they're like, oh, that's a wig, I didn't think wigs look like that. Some people just don't understand that, you know, I'm not playing Mary Queen of Scots with this fake wig on. So a cosplay wig or costume wig, like when I did theater, those are wigs that are made to emulate a specific character, a specific time period. They're meant to be worn for whatever cosplay situation, Halloween, theater. They're not meant to be worn often, so the construction of them is usually fairly poor because they're not really meant to last, and they're meant to look a certain way, and the colors are usually crazy and off. Red hair is super, it's red, it's not a ginger color. And they're usually pre-styled in a style that would reflect whatever cosplay or character that you are playing. So that's a cosplay wig. They're usually full cap wigs, meaning they don't have lace front. You can get them at Halloween stores. You can get them, you know, at cosplay situations, costume situations. You can get, sometimes you can get them even at beauty supply stores, but they don't really carry. Mine carries a few, but not a lot. So that would be cosplay. A fashion wig, a lot of the wigs that I wear would technically be considered a fashion wig. So a fashion wig is something where you're wearing it for a fashion statement. So a lot of my charisma wigs that are the pink orange, any of my pink wigs, pretty much any wacky colored wig or 36-inch wig would be more considered a fashion wig, and they can lean either way. They can be poorly constructed or not. They can be beautiful lace front situations. But at the end of the day, they're made for a fashion statement. They're not made to necessarily last as long or be as comfortable. They're not thinking that you're wearing a fashion wig every single day. Though that game is really stepping up. I'm just saying this is in general. And the other type of wig is your daily wear wig. Those are going to be colors that are, even if they're sombre or two-toned or ombre or whatever, they're going to mimic what normal quote-unquote hair would be looking like. Coffee coming to me. Okay, they would mimic more natural hair colors, more natural hair blends, things that you would naturally do to your normal hair in terms of coloring. Construction is usually better, they're made to last longer, and they can go one of two ways. They can be lace front, or there's a lot of daily wear wigs that are actually lace parting wigs, which frankly I love a lace parting wig. I have a whole playlist. Some of my favorite wigs from Free Trust Equal, those are all lace parting wigs because I think they're just easier, and I think also daily wear wigs are going to want to be easier because they're thinking you're wearing it every day, and they're not thinking that you're going to take 25 hours to glue stuff down and do all this nonsense. The caps are usually more mesh and stretchy because they're thinking you're wearing it all day long. So that's the difference between cosplay, fashion wigs, and daily wigs. And that's loose, you know, that's loose. That's just to give you sort of a generalization and steer you where you want to go. So I also wanted to couple this with 5 reliable and budget-friendly wig brands. I've done a few videos on different wig companies, wig brands, beginners, not. So this isn't necessarily that they're beginner friendly, but that they're reliable wig brands and that they are affordable, budget friendly. So, you know, I'm going to say Free Trust Equal, Model, and Made Beauty. I'm so convinced that they're the same company. I should just do the research on it. But anyway, any of those brands, I'm going to list them as one brand. They are reliable, they're budget friendly. Like, I really enjoy all of their wigs. The other one I would say is like Motown Tress. Motown Tress is very, very reliable, and I do find them to be budget friendly most of the time. I feel like some of their wigs are like randomly expensive for no reason, but you can find something from their line that is budget friendly and the quality is there. I also really love Charisma. You can get them on Amazon. I have a whole Charisma playlist. They are gonna hover in that $40 range, which for me, they are budget friendly in the grand scheme of things, but on the wigs that I buy, I do feel like that's the higher end of what I'd be willing to spend. But I have a ton of Charisma wigs, so even someone like me that doesn't want to spend the money, I do, because the quality is there. Their quality is great. Their hairlines are great. They have a lot of free parting, which means you can part it wherever you want. So to get that quality for that price, they're definitely reliable and budget friendly. If you want a wig, especially if you are of a lighter skin tone, if you're, you know, Caucasian, Asian, any type of lighter skin tone, and you want something that is going to blend in with your hairline and also mimic your natural hair, I feel like Charisma is the way to go. So that's 1, 2, 3. So 2 more. I would have to put like Janet Collection in that lane, because I feel like Janet Collection, like some of their hair blends are just awesome. They have some iconic wigs like Janet Collection's Moon, Super Moon, all those. For the most part, I do find them to be, they're definitely reliable and they're budget friendly. The other one that I'm going to put on this list that I don't talk about too much, although I have reviewed some of their wigs, is Sister Wigs. I do find that they're very reliable, they are budget friendly, and I find like their wigs, the ones that, at least the ones that I reviewed, and you can look at my Sister Wigs playlist, they're really styles that can work on a lot of different people, a lot of different skin tones, in a lot of different situations. Like you can be in just like a regular life situation and daily wear. Like I find their styles really, the ones that I have reviewed, really lend to like a daily wear situation very well. And I don't find them to be overly expensive. I don't have any of their like newer wigs, so I'm not sure. I haven't even checked them out. They're a company that I forget, but then when I'm looking at my reviews or what wigs that I reviewed or haven't reviewed, I'm like, oh yeah, Sister Wigs. Like, what am I doing? They're kind of cool. So that's what I'm gonna put on for you. Why can't I talk? That's the list that I have for you today. Obviously, sometimes, you know, that's gonna change as I experience more brands, and B, as I experience more wigs from more brands. But what are your reliable and budget-friendly brands that I have not mentioned? Put that down below. And if you have something to add to the whole cosplay, fashion wig, daily wear conversation, please put that down below as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you have, you know what? You know I appreciate you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.